Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to post-race conversations here in Austin, Texas, the Circuit of the Americas. I'm Tanner Marlar alongside Wyatt Watson and Stephen Stumpf. Got the XPEL 225 and the Focus Health 250 out of the way today, gentlemen. And boy, what a pair of races we had in the trucks race. The story was Conor Zillich, but in reality, he didn't have that great of a day, did he, Wyatt?
He had a very down and up day. It started on the pole, but then first corner he goes wide, goes deep, then has a sway bar issue, and he goes a lap down. Needed to catch a caution, got the caution, or actually just not catch another lap car, that is. And he made his way all the way up, had a couple spins, had a couple tire rubs, flat tire. He had a great race, actually. Finished fourth, great debut. Had the most passes of all the cars, albeit, but you'll get him how you get it. Chastain told him it's just one of those stuff, don't hang your head down. It's a good race for him for his first debut race. So, good race. He's definitely going to be a road course king when it comes to it, and he's still proving himself at the young age of 17.
Yeah, 17 years old, made his trucks debut today. Not old enough yet, Stephen, to race in the Xfinity Series. Outside of Conor, though, Trion Garage put all 5 trucks inside the top 10 for the first time in the team's history.
Indeed, arguably one of the greatest days in their team's history so far. Corey Heim led 31 of the 46 laps and went on to win. He also survived 2 late overtime restarts. And the last of the restarts was the entire rear end housing of Marco Andretti's truck just like flying off. And that is something, I was at Atlanta when Bailey Curry's roof blew off, but I have never seen something like that either. It was just one of those wild things. But with that, they were also running, a little bit low on fuel towards the end, but it was Corey Heim that held everyone off, and pretty comfortably. His teammate, Taylor Gray, finished second, made it a 1-2 for Tricon. He also equaled his best finish. And then also further back for the team, you got Jack Hawksworth, 33-year-old from the UK, racing an IndyCar, IMSA, all over the world. He finished 6th in his truck debut. It was his first NASCAR race since 2019 when he made a start for Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity. He had a good day. He was, kind of like just behind kind of the lead cars. He was running kind of like, top 6, top 5 all day. He ended up having a solid day. And then it was Dean Thompson who scored his second top 10 of the season. And Tanner Gray came home 10th. For Dean, he said that, road courses were special. He said he could count, probably the ones he's done with one hand. So, overall, just, it wasn't just Corey. We're used to kind of leading the charge with Tricon, but, all 5 of them really showed up in a big way today.
Yeah, and I was actually at that Atlanta race with you. I, too, thought that was going to be one of the crazier things we saw. But an entire rear end housing? Come on. We move on to the Xfinity race, though, gentlemen. And all throughout, the race was truly kind of littered with penalties. Lots of black flags flying today.
There was a lot of black flags for track limits. And I got tired of hearing the word track limits today because it was just incredible. And then also in the Truck Series race, too. There's fair share, but Xfinity could not get away from those track limit penalties, and it affected a couple of major players. AJ Allmendinger, tied for most laps led at 20. He got hit with one and had to battle his way back to the top 10. Shane Van Gisbergen, he was battling for the win at the end of the race on the final lap. Came home third, psych, track limits penalty. 27th place finish after such a dominant day it ruins that finish for him after the hard work put in. So I feel like there's got to be something that needs to be looked at for that. It got really ridiculous out there in the S's this week, and even last year too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see if tomorrow for Cup we have any changes. They had mentioned curbing turn 8 specifically, but for the S's, I don't know if there's much you can do.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of one of those things. Obviously, I do think, whatever happens this weekend, I do think it's probably going to be slightly different, going forward in NASCAR this track. It was Bob that tweeted out there were 37, off-track penalties, cutting the corners and so on. So I think, my opinion is that, 30-second penalty. I think maybe the punchman doesn't fit the crime, but it was one of those races. It looked, until the Ed Jones's car leaving the oil Ford, it looked to be pretty cut and dry. It was pretty much AJ and SVG dominating the whole day. It looked like SVG was gonna, shock everyone again. But it wouldn't have been much of a surprise. But he would look like he was going to win his try, but it was those those late cautions. Austin Hill got into him on the final restart. He was behind with white flag. Larson, went from 13th to 3rd in one lap on the fresh tires. And SVG tried to make a move on Hill, tried to bump him out of the way. But they both went sideways, and then it was Larson that got by. He won the pole, and he only led one lap, but it was the one lap that mattered the most. It was Hendrick's first win in the 17-car in the Xfinity Series, a very special number and a very special occasion for them.
And I'd like to add one more thing about the track limit penalties. I'm not trying to say F1 has got it mastered, but they've been doing those kind of track limit penalties for decades. And it takes 3 or 4 times for them to finally say, all right, we'll give you a 5-second penalty after the 3rd or 4th time that they've done it. So, like I said, we need to, if we're going to do some kind of track limit penalties, it's got to be either a warning or just a little 5-second penalty. Not this pass-through penalty or a 30-second penalty at the end of the race. It's just ridiculous.
And hopefully NASCAR will be able to find a happy medium on that. Guys, 2 fantastic races today. We're looking forward to the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix tomorrow. But that's all the time we've got here for post-race conversations. We'll see you here tomorrow morning at the Circuit of the Americas.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.